Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 13 of the Bobcat Weekly podcast, coming to you live from
the 31 feet of freedom.
It's our tailgating rig, for those of you that do not know.
Yeah, I guess some of you guys have stopped by. Some people have been on the show, have stopped by. They've seen the amazing apparatus, whatever you want to call this thing that we have along with us. But we decided for Cat Grizz Week, it would be a lot of fun to do an on-scene episode. So here we are in the RV. Figured didn't want to go through the hassle of getting an athlete out here and getting them situated in the RV, so that's why it's the three of us.
Yep.
But
and athletes can't say everything.
Yeah, that's true. But for you guys that don't know, my name is Keegan Torsdahl, and I'm here with two of my good buddies.
Brody Torsdahl.
And Aiden Kuntz.
So hopefully we can bring you some valuable insight ahead of Cat Grizz Week.
Happy Grizz Hate Week.
Yes, happy Grizz Hate Week. Kind of want to focus in this week's episode on just talking about Cat Grizz. Going back, we did something cool this week where we reached out to a bunch of current players, former players, asked them what does Cat Grizz mean to them, and we got a lot of really good responses from that, so we'll get into that later here. But we've got another good episode coming ahead for you guys. Basketball season continues to get underway. Volleyball season wrapping up their 2025 home season with sweeps over Eastern Washington as well as Idaho. Hockey finishes up their Missouri road trip. Football, as everyone knows, huge night win over UC Davis. And, of course, it's Brawl Week. So, got a lot to talk about, so we're going to go ahead and dive into stuff now. We're starting with our Bobcat Weekly question of the week. I don't remember if we had answered this or not when we did. We did. Have our answers changed since then?
No, I still like pineapple on pizza.
Okay.
No,
so
I still hate it.
Okay.
I'm in the same boat as Carson.
The question for you guys that don't know, does pineapple belong on pizza? Aiden says yes. Brady says no. Any reason to that?
It's disgusting. It's a fruit on pizza.
Okay.
That's all I got to say.
Good burns. All right. Let's move on here. So, in place of a player interview this week, because obviously we don't have a player here, we decided to send a question out to a bunch of the players that we've had on, those that we haven't, just to see what we asked them, what does the Brawl of the Wild mean to you? So we have some of their responses here that we would like to read to the fans, and we can talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Just kind of go around for each. And
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll start with our first one. Our first one here is from former Bobcat Marcus Weir. He said, "It means everything to me in this state, being able to walk the streets versus walk the alleys, as we say. Growing up in Montana, that's the game every fan circles. It's bragging rights for the year. They can talk about the overall record all they want. We're going to win the now. There's nothing like carrying that trophy around the stadium. Go Cats and FTG." So what are our thoughts on that?
Very well said.
yeah, very well said.
Yeah, I think I've read that and I was like, oh, this is perfect.
He put a lot of thought into that. I like that. I really appreciate the athletes that did.
Mm-hmm.
And really almost all the athletes, we did put a lot of thought into this, which is awesome. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, you want to read the next one here?
Yeah, next one from current Bobcat Brock Steele. "It means everything. We're representing the entire state and everybody that comes through this program, past, present, and future FTG." Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Yeah, I think he does a pretty good job of summing up, what it's all about. I mean, it's not just about the guys on the team now. It's about the guys that came before and the guys that are coming down the road. I mean, obviously I think this game plays a very pivotal role in the in-state recruiting battle too, so that kind of also ties into it where, if the Cats win, we might get more recruits that year, and if we get more recruits, then winning this game helps future generations of Bobcats.
Yeah, for sure. And I think even just in general, especially Rylan Ort talked about last week, about being from Missoula and kind of going back and forth between playing for the Grizz, playing for the Cats, but he knew he wanted to be a part of Brawl of the Wild, which I think is very common across the board for all recruits coming to Montana State, but especially the guys already in Montana. I think it's just a big part of everyone they want to be a part of. Like CT talked about, he saw the premiere, and Ort saw it too, and it's just a big, it plays such a pivotal role in recruits coming here, which is awesome. And I think you mentioned, we were talking about this week, you think they just need to play the Miracle Missoula video for all the recruits coming here.
Yep. So you get them
in
trapped.
your recruiting visit, you go into the film room and they just put that on for 40 minutes, and
yeah.
I mean, I watch it at least once a year. It's very well made, and I mean, it's nice that it's not too long. They get to the point, but they also kind of talk about the seasons leading up to it, Choate's introduction. So if
For
anyone
sure.
hasn't watched it, I highly recommend. It's on YouTube. Just look up Miracle in Missoula. Yeah. Gonna move on to our next one here, Brady.
Yep. Next one is from Cleveland Thomas, CT. Just had him on. Was that 2 episodes
weeks
ago?
ago.
2 weeks ago. Right. The Brawl of the Wild means everything. It's more than a game. It's pride, tradition, and representing every Bobcat who came before me. When you put on that blue and gold, you feel the whole stadium behind you. It's personal, it's competitive, and it's one of the biggest honors of my career.
Very well said, CT. Love it.
And I mean, he played D1 FBS football for a little while,
Yep.
and coming down here, I think a little bit of a step. Wouldn't a step up, but the rivalry is unmatched, you could say, or at least in the FCS. There's no other rivalry quite like it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And what was I saying? Yeah, and I mean, he talked about how watching that Miracle Missoula documentary helped convince him that Montana State was the place for him, seeing that atmosphere. And he didn't even have to go to the Brawl. He just saw that documentary, and that really did it for him. Yeah. Next question here, or not next question. Next answer here from Paul Brott. He said it's a great tradition, great rivalry, and it's built on grit. I think short and sweet. I think it was a pretty good summary. He talked about it a little bit more, too, in his press conference this week. He talked about just what all the Brawl means to him and to the people of the state. You want to hit the next one?
Another former guest coming at you, Rylan Schlepp. He said, it's everything. It's a game I grew up watching and dreaming of playing in. We work all year, obviously, to win the Big Sky and be national champions, but this game holds its own weight, which I think it 110% does.
Yeah.
It means something way more. Not saying it doesn't mean more winning the Big Sky or a national championship, but honestly, you talk to a lot of football guys across the board, and I guess it's their favorite game of the season. That's what they look forward to every year.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I mean, even in the years past, it's always been a big game. Even when, there was those years where the Grizz are something and the Cats aren't, and there's been years where, it's for a playoff spot. There's been years where it didn't matter, but this game has always been, kind of the biggest game of the year, no matter what was going on. This was the game. So, yeah, next one here, Brady. You want to hit that?
Yep. Next one is from another former guest, radio broadcaster, voice of the Bobcats, Keaton Gilogly. He said, it's the culmination of all the word work throughout the year. Everything is magnified, and you better be your best. It's one of the greatest treasures of the state. It's the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I think that's very well said.
It's Montana's Super Bowl.
It's the FCS Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I mean, Vegan touched on it this week during his press conference. He talked about how, I mean, this really is the Super Bowl for everyone in Montana. I mean, we have no professional sports, or in the states around us, do we have any professional sports? So,
for sure.
Definitely the biggest sporting event of the year for Montanans, and I think everyone looks forward to this week.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's case in point with whether you go to the game in person or you're watching on TV, but like you look at game tickets, especially I think everyone is kind of seen. I was looking on the Grizz tickets website, and the lowest I was finding was still above $300 a ticket, which is unreal. And especially like when it's in Bozeman, we are so incredibly lucky to have season tickets.
Yeah.
Like if you don't, it's a nightmare trying to get tickets to the game. But
Yeah.
people buy the tickets, and it shows the love for Cat Grizz and how much of Montana supports Cat Grizz and just college football in general with our Super Bowl. So.
Yeah. Next one here from Jake Vegan. It means everything. We don't like them. They don't like us. Excited to go see what we can get done over there. Yeah, I think it sums it up pretty perfectly. I mean, I think everyone on both sides of that rivalry hates everyone on the other side. Yeah. You want to hit Jordan Reed there?
Yep. Sorry. It means everything to us as players. More importantly, it means a lot for the state, or at least, for the state and our fans who support us. We play for the fans and the state. I mean, it's not wrong. I mean, all these guys said really well, but I like this one.
Yep. Keegan, you want to read the next one there?
Yeah. Last week's guest, former Bobcat standout Rylan Ort, said it means everything to me. It's been very important to my family my entire life, and I took great pride getting to play in it. It's a very special game that shows off the love and pride that people have for our state.
Yeah.
We talked about it, like I mentioned just a few minutes ago, but we talked about it a lot last week, too, with both his dad and grandpa playing for the Grizzlies, but then also kind of his torn decision between he's from Missoula, but he didn't really care about where he went necessarily. Montana State talked to him a lot more throughout the recruitment process, but he just wanted to play in the Brawl of the Wild. So, yeah, love that from Ort. So,
Yep. Next one here. We also reached out to some of the fans. There was a story up on our Instagram page today about this. This one's from Tucker Billy Milliken. It's short and sweet, just FTG.
Yep, this is our dear cousin Tucker. He has been living here for a little while. Originally went to Virginia Tech, but now he is a diehard Cats fan. Very involved with the FTG Ride the Brand. So glad to have you on board, Tucker.
yeah, for sure. And I think him coming from Virginia Tech football, come out to Montana State football, said it's not the same. It's certainly not the same, but we do have a lot of fun, and we do have our own versions of fun stuff out here, and I do think he's enjoyed all the games so far. So, Billy, we appreciate you being out here, and we're happy for more playoff games coming. So, yeah.
Right. And our last one is from Mango. She said, "It is a week full of smack talk with my Grizz friends. Go Cats!" And
Okay.
yeah, I mean that's kind of what this whole week is dedicated for.
Yeah.
Did we lose one of our lights there on the right?
Yeah,
We might have. It's all right. We're working in conditions.
We're fine.
We're good.
All right. To our athletes, thank you so much for replying to our question. Really appreciate it. We took, I think, the top highlighted ones. We did.
We
have
just
some,
got.
We did. Oh, we have more
We
coming.
got one. We got a few more coming in.
Okay, from the fans.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna read this one. Thank you, Brett Boxwell, for both of your responses.
Thank
I'm
you,
not
Brett.
gonna read your other one, but he said to beat the crap out of the Grizz and assert dominance over them. Thank you, Brett.
I have a feeling. Hold on, let me look at this.
I feel like that's
I
can't look.
I have a pen. Oh no, it's not loading. Hold on.
We're gonna have Keegan proofread this one and see if he wants to read it out.
Let me see this. Let me see it.
Thank you, Brett. Appreciate it.
That's wild. Thanks, Brett. Appreciate
Oh,
it.
yeah, we won't say that one. All right.
Brett,
right.
we thank you for your help
Yes.
along the way.
For sure. Like I was saying, thank you for all the athletes responding to us. Really appreciate it. It's nice to have that sort of kind of their point of view from the player's perspective, what it really means to them. And it also means a lot to us to get all those replies. So thank you guys. I don't know. I kind of would like to talk now about Cat Grizz for us growing up. Do you remember what the first Cat Grizz you remember was going to, and kind of like what Cat Grizz has been throughout our lives so far?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I'm trying to think here what my first Cat Grizz was. I can't remember. Oh, what specific year was it? Hold on. You guys start. I'll come back to me.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't mind starting. So, I've been going to Bobcat football games my whole life, but the first the first I can remember of, and you guys are probably gonna hate me for this. We were out at Braden Krogstad's house, and I was like five, whatever age.
We were young.
And I didn't really pay much attention to the game because he had an Xbox and I didn't. And I think that might have been the miracle year.
In 2018.
Yep, that I paid.
You were older than 5. in
You were older than
2018.
5 in
Okay,
2018.
I'm not doing math, but that's about as late back as I can remember.
Yeah.
And I'll admit I didn't really watch fully that game, but that's about as late back as I can remember.
I think the first game I went to was 2016, maybe. I think it was 2016 because I think it was the year we broke the losing streak.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2016, and then we went 16, 17, 18, and then 19. Yeah, I think I didn't go to the younger games when I was younger because obviously my parents didn't want to take me to that environment, and
Yeah. It's fair.
yeah.
point.
So I remember we would watch them on TV, and we'd watch all the away ones on TV. But I do remember it being a very big event in our house. Getting ready for the game. It was always on. I have more words, but I keep forgetting what they are. I had something written up and then I can't find it. But yeah, it was always a big thing, and I mean, it's always, especially in recent years, it's definitely been a bigger part of, the season and watching and being more into the sport. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, honestly, it started with, we've been going to the Bobcat games since we were really young. We had those pictures up on the Instagram a couple weeks ago of us.
Yeah.
I think that one on the field in like 2013 after that Bobcat camp, and then we had a couple in, like 16, 17 when the Cats still had like the old jerseys. And we were, I don't even remember how old, but I remember kind of going up through that. But honestly, it's just been like the Bobcats impact. Like, we've always gone to stuff since, at least us, and you have too. We've always gone to Bobcat athletics games since we were young. And so it's kind of always been, we've just always had that natural love for the Bobcats. And so naturally, Cat Grizz just kind of got rolled into that. But honestly, the first things that I remember about Cat Grizz was the Can the Grizz food drives they do at school.
Oh, yeah.
And throughout elementary school, it was always between the classrooms in middle school, and even they do it in high school too, of whoever, what class can raise the most food and money, that sort of deal for the Can the Grizz food drive. But that was sort of my like, oh, this is a big deal because we need to beat the Grizz this stuff. And I was like, oh, it's a way bigger deal because it's football. And yeah, I definitely remember Miracle in Missoula, and now here we are in the big 2025, hoping the Cats can pull off another win this weekend. So yeah.
You mean
Exciting
knowing
stuff.
that the Cats will pull off another win?
That's right. We're knowing the Cats are going to win this weekend. So
Yeah.
That's not a hope. That's a no. We know. So.
We just know that the Pandas won't know how to play against us.
Yeah. Big game coming up ahead. I'm excited. So yeah, thank you guys for reaching out to us, for your responses. Really appreciate it. And yeah, should we get into a little bit of recap here?
Yeah, you want to touch on volleyball?
Yeah, so volleyball wrapping up home season this past weekend with sweeps over Eastern Washington and Idaho. So this would be last Thursday, the 13th. Very exciting match against Eastern Washington. I believe I noticed throughout the game, and I kind of made the decision, I think this was the best coached match by Hauk so far this season. Had a pretty standard starting five. It was Tegan, Jolie, Madeline, Lauren, and who is a fifth? I'm blanking on the fifth. I don't remember. Yes, we had Lauren, Tegan, Jolie. I don't remember the fifth, but pretty standard, and things were going okay in the first and starting to get into the second set, and then things started to kind of dip a little bit. Hauk made some adjustments. Sophomore Taya Yeomans got in. She did really well, notching a career-high 7 kills on Thursday, which is a lot of fun. So nice to see her in, and I think just throughout the whole match, Hauk did a really nice job adjusting and not just sticking to what they have all season, but trying new things out and getting new players in there. Was really exciting to watch. And then Saturday the 15th, Senior Day against Idaho, which they sweep the Vandals, which is awesome for them to do on Senior Day. Madeline Siebler, Lauren Linseth, Cameron Greenwald, and Greta Lawson combined for 22 kills, a 320 attack, along with 19 digs and 8 blocks to close out the 2025 home season. And again, Taya Yeomans in on the action too, along with senior Cameron Greenwald, 10 kills each. Jolie Speltz and Madeline Siebler with 9 and 8 kills respectively. Another super fun match with the senior presentation after the game. I think definitely thought that was a little weird with the senior presentation after the match, but they swept, so it was good.
They've done that in the years past because the fans actually stick rather than showing up early.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, at least everyone did stick around for it.
Yeah, for sure. And so that was a lot of fun getting to celebrate those seniors. Definitely, like I know we talked about on Saturday, they all have played a very important role throughout 4 years with the Cats. I mean, Lauren's a 4-year starter. Pretty sure Cam's a 4-year starter as well. So definitely losing a lot of big points from the team this year moving forward.
I mean, I did tell you and Brett, I personally think they should retire Linseth's number.
Mm-hmm.
She's done so much for the program. I think.
I agree.
Or at least whoever's going to wear the number next has to step up and.
Yeah, for sure. But I do think that'd be a good move if they did. It'd certainly be something that they haven't really done before. But I'm all for it if they want to do it, and I think she 100% deserves it. So, yeah, volleyball's super fun. Wrapping up the season, they've got 2 more games coming up this week. But I think we hit most of the home volleyball games this year. I think I only missed like 1 or 2, but we were at pretty much all of them. We had a lot of fun throughout the season. I know that game that we had us there and Brett was there as well, and we had the whole crew. That was fun. So
Yeah, that was a good old time.
Fun volleyball season, and yeah, it's crazy. It's already over. I feel like September and October kind of flew by, and now we're already to the end of regular season. But here we are.
When does the tournament start?
So they have 2 games this next week, and then I believe tournament would start probably either that weekend or the following week. I wouldn't be surprised if they give them the weekend off and then they start up again. So, yeah, we'll keep tabs on that as well as a hit in the tournament. And then once the season's over, we're still trying to work out logistics to get the seniors on in some capacity, whether we do 2 at a time or if we manage to get all 4 on at a time. But, yeah, we'll figure it out. So stay tuned for that. Basketball.
Yeah.
Who wants to talk about basketball? Yeah.
You got it.
Oh, I got it?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so the women had no games this past week. The men had 2 games this past week. They had that 77-68 loss to Stanford on the 12th. That was a pretty good game. I watched the second half of that game, but I mean, I feel like the Cats, they did a pretty good job of hanging in there. They kind of fell off there at the end, which we've kind of done a couple times this year with Colorado and such. Yeah, I mean, good team to hang with there with Stanford. And then we had that 58-62 loss to Boise State. I did not watch that one because it was on Mountain West Network, and I don't have Mountain West Network. But seems like another good team that we hung in there close with. Yeah, although we've had a slow 1-4 start to the season, all 4 of the losses have been against good competition, and they've all been close games.
They have
We've been losing very narrowly. Which is, it's a good quick test to Coach Logie and the new men's staff and all of our new transfers. So,
yeah, for sure.
Okay, Brady, you want to touch on hockey?
Yep. They went 0-3 over the weekend at the Lindenwood Showcase tournament. They went 1-5 versus Lindenwood 0-3 to Liberty U, and 0-7 against FGCU. They've hit a cold stretch a little bit. 6-game losing skid. They do need to get back on track quickly if they want to perform well. I know they do have a few key players injured and out right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully to bounce back soon, but they just need to step up, get the job done, heading into Cat Grizz, which is just a few weeks away, which doesn't seem like that far out. But I definitely think they need to come back. But they will. They need to get on their feet. Yeah, just find the back of the net more.
Yeah, for sure. And like you just mentioned, having the key players out, it really forces guys to step up because you can't afford to not have guys step up. And I'm almost kind of getting that sense right now through the cold streak. It's going to be something they'll snap out of, and then they'll go on a 7-game winning streak. It's how it goes.
I mean,
it's
kind of like something in football. Say your defensive end goes out. That's not the biggest deal in the world, but kind of in a hockey sense, like everyone is kind of like your quarterback. Everyone is actively getting the puck, trying to find the back of the net. They always have a job the whole time on the ice. So if one of your key guys goes down, it's kind of a flop to the whole team.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, starting forward, Spencer goes out, and it's, he's not the reason the Cats have lost 6 games in a row, but he certainly plays a key part in the team. And so it's forcing these other guys to step up, do their job. So I'm hoping they can get back on track because they need to, especially for Cat Grizz here, which will be a lot of fun. So yeah, that comes up in a few weeks as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and by here we mean Helena. But
so
is it here?
Yeah, they actually do play.
They're actually going to play 1 game in Missoula, 1 game in Helena, and then they come and play 1 game in Bozeman for a little 3-game series for some reason. Because the Grizz don't like to use their own facilities, apparently, for hockey.
I guess not.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also, by the way, this is root beer.
For those of you that are
got, please be advised, this is root beer.
We just took the labels off because Instagram and YouTube like to flag us for sponsorship stuff, and we forgot the tape.
Yeah.
So
just peeled the labels off.
We just peeled the labels off. But it is...
It's root beer. It's Henry Reinhardt's root beer. It's the best stuff around. I promise.
We even got the box somewhere over there.
Yeah.
And
All right.
the sticker's still on the top here, so we're
All
fine.
right.
All right. Football. We had that night game win, 38-17 over the UC Davis Aggies. We definitely had a slower start of the game. We let UC Davis score first, but I mean, UC Davis, they're a tough opponent. They were ranked 9 last week, but we got things figured out headed into halftime. We outscored the Aggies 24-0 in the second and third quarter. An interesting stat that I saw this week is the Cats are currently, excluding the Oregon game, we have outscored opponents 100-0 in the third quarter this year,
I saw that too.
which is, I think that's just a funny
nuts.
stat.
Yeah.
But yeah, Caden Dowler had 2 interceptions, returning 1 for 83 yards for a touchdown. That's back-to-back games with 2 turnovers for him.
Yeah.
Huge. I think he's had a great couple weeks. I hope he's another great week this week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he got Defensive Player of the Year. I don't know how he wouldn't have got, or Defensive Player of the Week. I don't know how he wouldn't have.
He did.
He got it last week too.
And he got it last week too. Yeah, so we were very heavy on the ground this week. Lamson had 11 carries for 97 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then Davis had 11 carries for 70 yards, and 1 touchdown. Yeah, overall thoughts on the game, guys?
I was happy to be, I mean, like we talked about last week, pumped for a night game, and it was. I mean, it lived up to everything. Like, night games are just so much fun. I had a blast. I don't know about you guys, but it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. That was a pretty eventful game because, I mean, we had the drone show beforehand, and there was the cup snake in the middle of the game, which was hilarious. They had one in the student section and then one over on the sunny side, which was funny. They broke the student section one down, which was annoying. But and then the other one, in order to keep them from breaking down, they pushed it across the sunny side back and forth, which was really funny. What else happened?
The pregame too, the Native American ceremony they did too.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I mean, it was awesome to have the Native American heritage game, and the helmets too were, like we talked, were awesome. They did a wonderful job. It
was senior night. We graduated, I believe it was 8 seniors, which is kind of, I feel like we had a lot more last year. So
for sure.
Which is, I think, is a good thing because, I mean, we got a lot of returners that are going to be good. I mean, obviously we're losing some key players with JT Reed,
Iden.
There's one other Brought.
Yep.
So yeah, we're losing some big players, but I think we can have those guys that are underneath them step up, and like we've seen them play in those blowout games, and kind of be able to step up to that role. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for them.
Yeah, for sure. I think early on in the podcast I talked about this too, but having all those blowout games last year, it gives you almost that sense of comfort. Like seeing last year we had so many blowout games, seeing Chance get to play, and the other guys are like, oh, okay, so our backups are good. So when we graduate these people next year, oh, we're looking good. And that's how it is this year, and it's how it's going to be next year too. So, yeah, definitely losing a lot of guys, which is sad, especially the guys that we're close with. But, I mean, it's been an awesome 4 years, 4+ years that they've been here. So,
yeah. And
super
hopefully, another thing, I know Brought talked about it in his press conference this week. Our young secondary has been great, talking about people leaving. I really hope that they stick around. I mean, we got a lot of younger guys that are stepping up, in their whether they're redshirt freshman or sophomore, that are coming into those big roles, and I hope that they stick around and don't transfer off to some bigger school. And I hope that we're able to keep those guys here for the future and have those good years.
Yep, for sure. Brady, other thoughts on the game, the evening?
I love a night game. I think it just beats everything else. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, any game is fun, but I think that under the lights adds another element of fun. But more on the game side, I wasn't impressed in the first half. I mean, Davis made us go 4 out. We made him go 4 out. Then they made us go 4 out again. I'm like,
Another thing.
This doesn't look good.
Yeah,
but then slowly found our rhythm. They scored first, but we scored. And then I think, did we have the lead going in a half?
Yeah, we did.
Not by much.
The only lead they had was at the beginning when they scored first, and then we were either tied or had the lead for the rest of the game.
We slowly found our momentum, and then we came out swinging. Right after halftime, I'm not gonna go too into depth, but there were some questionable calls that kind of turned some of our big points. Like we had a huge breakaway, a holding call that wasn't necessarily a holding that pushed us back. We'd get an interception or. I don't want to go too into depth on that, just so I don't get in trouble for what I say, but it was kind of feeling like Davis was kind of getting a break every time they'd make a big mistake, like an interception or let a big breakthrough happen.
Yeah. And I mean, another thing that I kind of noticed was a lot of Lamson's passes were kind of low this game, which I feel like was a little inconsistent for him. I feel like he's been pretty good with passing all year. I wonder if it was just pressure going into that big game. Maybe he just wasn't having the best week. But I mean, it seemed like every few passes he'd have one that was kind of low that was hard for the receivers to catch. So hopefully that's something he can work on this week and be able to have a better week this week as far as throwing goes. But he did make up for it with his running. I mean, he had a great game running.
Yeah.
So yeah, still very impressed with him.
I do want to give a little bit of props to the UC Davis quarterback. Very young kid, a redshirt freshman, and man, he's good.
Well, we looked at his stats last week. Last week his stats were unreal, and then this past weekend, a good game too. That kid's gonna be special.
The dude kind of reminds me a little bit of Tommy, how quick and agile he is. Like he's just finding those little pockets and getting right through.
Yeah, my dad was talking about him. He's like, I'm glad we don't play Davis next year, and I hope that kid transfers because he is not fun to play against.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it seemed like any time there was a hole, he found it, and he took off running.
Yeah, he was running a lot. And back to your comment about Lamson, I think last week really didn't see much of that against Weber State, but previous week against Northern Colorado, I think we noticed that a lot throughout the game, just spiking passes. They were not great. A broadcast was commenting about it. It was just an off night for him, and then picked it up for Weber State, and then but really it was like first quarter, even first two drives were okay. He was spiking passes, and then it's like something clicked, and when he threw the ball, it was fantastic, and exactly like you said, made up for it with his running. Had a fantastic rest of the game. So
I did thought this was kind of funny. I did hear one of the ESPN broadcasters said, "Who's the better receiver tonight, Taco or Caden?"
Yeah,
because in the overall yard sense gained, Caden did have more than Taco.
Yeah,
which I thought was kind of funny.
That is kind of funny. Yeah, I know that you were talking about the calls earlier. I mean, there was some interesting ones. Another thing with the UC Davis quarterback. I mean, there's one play I had to look for the clip here, but it was that personal foul on who is this? Who's 36?
Oh, shoot. Zach Cruz?
Zach Cruz, yes. It was on Zach Cruz because, and I mean, I'll show you guys this clip here, but the quarterback just got up and flopped.
This was the
personal foul that Vegan lost his mind over.
And I did not see that when it happened live.
Yeah, neither did I. I was very confused on what happened. But you can see he just kind of flopped.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, if Vegan is that mad, because we have not seen him that mad before, I was like, something interesting.
Well, he wasn't mad at Cruz. He was mad at the refs.
Yeah,
and I was like,
not
seen him that
interesting must have happened,
before.
so that makes sense. But
the quarterback was kind of being a bit of a baby.
He was.
Like every time a player run up to him, he'd kind of like flail, and
he was trying to milk for some penalties, but
and he did.
Yeah. It's like at the end of the day, can't do anything about it.
And there was a couple. I think I'm not going to go too far into this. There was a couple things on Kenny where I was like, but
he was in a headlock and he got called for a personal foul.
Yeah,
so.
that was
interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we'll move on from that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, can't do anything about it, and Cats capitalized on what they could, and third, fourth quarter came around and got things figured out. So it ended up not being an issue for them.
Yeah.
So.
And funnily enough, it wasn't the only bad reffing in the FCS this week.
The
Sac State game, I'll talk on that later. But then also in the South Dakota game, they magically got another timeout. Because
during overtime, correct?
After the second overtime, you don't get any more timeouts. They used a timeout in the second overtime, so they were out of timeouts.
Yeah.
And then it got to the fourth overtime, and then they were about to – I forgot the team they were playing. They were about to run a touchdown, or they were about to run a 2-point conversion, and then South Dakota called a timeout, and the refs gave it to them, and everyone's like, they're out of timeouts.
Yeah.
And on the ESPN stats, it said they had -1 timeouts, which I thought was pretty funny.
That is,
but I mean, all the coaches are losing their minds, but the refs still gave them the timeout, and there was nothing that I've seen about that. So that was interesting. And then the other thing we'll talk about later.
Yep.
But yeah, we want to move on to around the conference here.
Yeah, overall, really fun game. We had a blast, and Cats played great. So great win.
Moving on to around the conference here. The Grizz beat Portland State 63-17. I mean, good win for the Grizz. Not really that. I don't have a lot to say on this. I mean, they played how they were supposed to play. I mean, Portland State, they're a 1-9 team now at this point, or are they 1-10?
It's right up there.
I think they're 1-10 now after the loss.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But I mean, not a team that you should be keeping in the game. So, I mean, they played how they were supposed to play. I got nothing to say there. UNC lost to Eastern Washington 27-7. Northern Colorado struggled through the air. Yeah, that was pretty much it. They had 5 turnovers, and that's what really lost them the game. They were able to get some yards and probably could have been in this game, but they had those 5 turnovers and just couldn't. You can't win with 5 turnovers. You're giving the ball away that much, you can't score, and you're giving the other team points. I mean, if there's a touchdown on every single one of those drives, that's a 70-point swing. So
I will say, I did see from a videographer, really talented guy. I'm blanking on his name right now. Love his work. But one of the Grizz guys was like celebrating after the game. He's like, "It's too easy. This is our house." And all the comments are like, "Wow, you beat a team that's got 1 win this year. It's like great job.
Congratulations.
You played another JV team.
Yeah.
Good job."
Congratulations. You beat Plentywood.
All right.
All right. Moving on here. NAU beat Cal Poly 35-27. That was a pretty close game. NAU, they had a great game offensively. Only had 2 penalties all game, which was pretty good for them. Getting a good win here. Both teams look pretty similar offensively, stats-wise. One funny stat that I saw when I was looking through the games was that NAU they had 8 third downs, and they did not convert 1 all day. So out of all of their anytime they got to third down, they were done.
Whoops.
Yeah. They converted 2 fourth downs, but they converted 0 third downs.
Can you shoot the password for the Wi-Fi?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's I won't. Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah,
want to
just keep talking. We're good.
Yeah. All right. Next game on here. ISU beat Weaver 31-3. Good game for ISU.
No, our flag fell.
That's fine.
Scenery.
No.
Gosh. It's the beautiful mountains.
Look, we're actually outside.
Yes.
We're not sheltered in the garage like you all think we might are.
Yeah.
We do get outside.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
Here, I'll just...
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Good game for ISU. Kind of went as expected. Kind of like that Grizz game. I mean, they played how they were supposed to play. ISU, they've played some good teams this year. They got that Idaho ISU game this week. Should be a good game for them. That's their rivalry game. So, moving on here. This was the game I was talking about earlier. Sac beat Idaho 23-20. It was a tight game. Both teams played about the same, and it came down to the wire there. There was a bad call at the end of the game, which the Big Sky Conference addressed earlier this week. That this, in my opinion, this really swung the game. I mean, I think if they don't make this call, Idaho wins that game, and Sac State doesn't win. Basically, what happened was there were 17 seconds left. Sac was down. What were they down? They were down 16-20, and they needed a touchdown to win. And I think they were like 25 yards away. They threw a ball down to the 2-yard line. The receiver came down out of bounds with the ball, but the ref called it in, and then they went to review it. There's a pretty conclusive camera angle of his foot being out of bounds. And
Well out of bounds. Not even like kind of
not
out of
even
bounds.
like kind of out of bounds. Like his foot is a foot and a half into the white. And they reviewed it. Everyone's like, oh, he's totally out. They're going to reverse it. And then they didn't. And that ended up costing Idaho the game. So,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone was losing their minds on this. And the Idaho coach, Thomas Ford, actually posted a video of the catch from the angle of the sidelines where it is with no like context or anything like, oh, these refs need to be fined or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just that video.
And that backfired immediately.
Not immediately.
Well,
I'll talk about this in a second. But he posted that video, kind of blew up on Twitter. I mean, everyone was going crazy on the Big Sky Conference for this, because it really did influence the game and gave Sac that win. But yeah, so he was fined $2,500 for complaining about it, which, I mean, like, yeah, but also you can't be doing that. And then
Especially in a head coaching position.
yeah. And then the Big Sky Conference also suspended those officials that were involved in that game because, I mean, it was such a bad call. I mean, you can't be making calls like that, especially when they influence the game.
Exactly.
And I think they said there was going to be a little bit of further investigation into it. But, I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. And I'm not usually one to complain too much about refs, but, I mean, that when it comes down to something like that where it influences the game, you got to be.
And then Thomas Ford announced today he did get a fine for violating the Big Sky's
Yeah.
Sportsmanship policy for posting that.
Yeah. Well, and
on
I mean,
social
it is in
media.
the policy, so they did kind of have to fine him. But I mean, also like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think you guys who did see the clip, this is just from a standing back standpoint,
Yeah.
talking about this, that his foot was very much out of bounds.
Yeah.
So that was just
it was terrible.
a poor call on the ref. So that's
I mean, and especially to review it and see all the angles of it
Yeah,
and still
for
not
sure.
be able to make that call
For sure.
is that there was plenty of conclusive evidence to overturn that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, crazy week in the FCS and the Big Sky, but a lot of fun games coming out of it. So yeah, a lot going on.
you want to talk about volleyball this week?
Yes, I'd love to.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, volleyball. They got 2 games scheduled for this week, the 19th. Well, so it would already be happened by the time you're listening
Right.
this.
Yeah, that's tomorrow, Wednesday, the 19th.
tomorrow. And then the 21st, I believe that is. Help me out. What day is that?
The 21st. That's Friday.
Friday. And then we got a game Friday at Weber State, 6 p.m.
You guys want to
Broadcasted-
drive to Ogden on Friday?
No. Broadcasted on ESPN Plus. Excited to see what they have. They look to pick up 2 more conference wins to close out the regular season as they head to the Big Sky tournament. Already getting a bid into that tournament, so
And
excited.
Sorry, go ahead.
Excited to see what the girls have in store.
Yeah, for sure. And it's that time of season that we've been talking about all week, but they need to win games. They can't afford to not win games. They do have that berth going into the tournament, which is awesome. However,
We got to get that momentum going in, and we need it. Would be
Exactly.
nice to be placed higher in that tournament.
yeah, I was just gonna pull up schedule here. Just kind of looking at stats so far in the season. I think they're just below 500 right now. They've kind of been flirting right around that for most of the season. They started off hot, and then it's kind of been back and forth. No, sorry, they were above 500, 13 and 12. So if they can go into the Big Sky tournament at 15 and 12, pick up 2 more really big conference wins, that would put their conference record at 10 and 6, which I think would be very beneficial for them.
Yeah.
And probably give them a decent bid getting in there. So, yeah. Oh, you're good. You're good.
They already did get the bid. It's just the
Higher
fact
seeding.
of seeding.
So, yeah. Ladies, volleyball team, please pick up 2 wins this week. We'd love to see it.
That's your job from the Bobcat Weekly podcast. Go win.
We're holding, well, especially the 2 we had on the show. We're holding you guys accountable to that. So,
All right. Brady, you want to talk
basketball.
about basketball, or do you want me to talk about basketball?
I just did volleyball, so
All right, I'll talk basketball. So yeah, the Cats head down to Long Beach this week. They take on Nobel Thursday the 20th. There's a 4 p.m. Kickoff for that.
I have no clue who that school is. It's
I
just
think
the
it's-
emblem on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, and then I think it's Long Beach State.
Yep.
The 21st, 8 p.m. kickoff. That one's on ESPN Plus. I think they're all on ESPN Plus. Yep, 2 more good games. Hopefully the Cats can pick up 2 wins here.
the game should be on KBZK.
Cool.
A local channel, low number. So.
Good. Nice.
And then the women play today, Tuesday the 18th.
Tonight. In an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah. Against UNLV, we'll be heading over there once we get all this cleaned up. Yep. So 3 big games for the basketball program. Hopefully getting some wins as we start to inch towards conference season.
Hockey. I'll talk hockey and football here. Crew heads back to Utah this week for the annual Beehive Showcase. They've got 4 games for the boys. Game times.
Showcase
schedules,
is like
all
a
that.
tournament or like a round robin,
Yeah.
essentially in the hockey world.
Game times, opponents, all that stuff. None of it's posted yet, so we cannot tell you who they're playing or when they're playing. But it'll be on the Instagram.
Most
page,
likely going to
so-
be some Utah teams, if
Yeah,
I had to guess.
I would agree. I would think so. So, yeah, stay looking forward to that. We'll post it on the Instagram when it comes out. But yeah, and then last but not least, we can all kind of touch this as we go. It's Cat Grizz week, as we already mentioned. So Cat's heading up to Missoula this year to take on the Grizz this Saturday, November 22nd. 9-2 Montana State versus 11-0 Montana Grizzlies. I mentioned ticket prices. Yeah. I mentioned this
Yeah.
earlier talking about ticket prices, but ESPN shows the tickets as low as $272, which is kind of nuts.
Oh, wonderful.
Wow.
Hold on, I'm
What
gonna
a steal.
do a little something here.
12 p.m. kickoff.
Yep.
ESPN Plus should be the best matchup of our season. Should be the best
Yeah.
matchup of their season.
100%.
It's going to be very entertaining, no doubt.
It's going to give the Grizzlies a good matchup that I don't think they've necessarily had this year. So it'll give them a run for their money for sure. And
Yeah.
for us too, because we are not disregarding the Grizzlies as not a good team this year. They are a very good team this year. There's a reason why they're 11-0. Even if their competition has been less, they're still playing very good football. You look at stats, and we talk about the Grizz winning every week. So we can't kind of lean back here and just know the Cats are going to win. They're going to put up a big fight too, so it's going to be really entertaining. So
I know I've talked about this with Mom a little bit, and like it's tough to play in Washington Grizzly if you're a Bobcat. It's tough to play in Bobcat Stadium if you're a Grizzly.
exactly.
I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, it's the last time we went to Missoula, we played not great. I know I went to that game. We played like absolute junk, I will say. I mean, that stadium's just so loud and so ugly. But yeah, it's loud and ugly. So that definitely makes it difficult to play. So I think, obviously we've beat them in Missoula many times. I think the boys have the fight this year to actually get it done. I do think we're going to maybe see a little bit what we saw with the Davis game, a little bit of a slow start back and forth, 3 and outs, minimal scoring, and then the boys get a light underneath them and take off in the second half.
Cats need to bring their best game this week.
Yes.
Between Lamson throwing, defense needs to be on their toes. They need to play good across the board if they want to come out of Washington Grizzly with a very pivotal win heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, let's make sure there's no champions in the Champions Center this week.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was just looking at this because I was curious, but what you guys have any guesses what the Grizzlies' record would be if all the games ended at halftime this year?
Oh boy, it has to be pretty poor.
That's going to be a tough one.
They would be 7-4 right now.
Wow.
If all their games ended at halftime.
Yeah.
And that doesn't count the Eastern game which was also a game they probably should have lost because Eastern obviously came back in the second half. But if you're just looking at the first half games, they haven't had the best. Like they're 11-0, but they're 11-0.
Yeah. Which going off of that shows that the Grizz are a second half team. Look to be a second half team this year.
Yeah.
So we can't let up.
Yeah, which I think we've done a good job of all year.
Yeah, for sure.
We've done. I feel like last year we kind of had that issue where we would get a crap ton of lead in the first half, and then we'd put our secondaries in and just plateau.
And
I think, and with this year we've done a lot better job of even when we do have our starters and just keeping our foot on the gas and finishing the game all the way through and not dropping off in the second half. And I think that should be able to help us if we're able to get out in front of the Grizzlies and be able to put points on the board, stop them on defense, and just keep – if we can get up by a few scores, I think we can kill all their momentum and come out of a win. And there goes our light.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. Hold on. You want to turn that on? It got real dark real quickly.
Oh,
Did you mute yourself? Okay. This is fun.
Bobcat Weekly at night.
The power – give it to me. I'll turn it on. The power button's on the top right here.
On the top? Oh.
There you go. Press it again. Hold on. Press it one. Press it again. It's too bright. There you go. No, don't hold it.
I'm not.
Oh, it is dead. Oh, fuck. Excuse my language.
We have a couple. We have phones. Do you just want to
Just turn the brightness up really bright on your computer.
That's what I already did.
Okay.
We don't have really a ton to talk about.
I'll put my computer like this because it's bright enough.
Yep.
Look at that. We have light again on the Bobcat Weekly podcast. This is a fun episode.
This has been a lot of fun.
I was wondering if I was going to... I wonder if I could turn the... Hold on. Let's do a little pivot here. See if I can turn the air lights on. I forgot the battery was dead.
Okay. All right. Well, we're doing the rest of the episode
doing
like
this like this. All right. Nope, we're keeping it
This
in
will
for
be fun.
fun.
This will be fun to put on that blooper
That
reel too.
blooper
Yeah.
reel, yeah.
Yeah. What were we kind of talking about?
Cat Grizz.
Second half team, the Grizz, and us not letting off the gas. I think it's going to be, like you said, Cats have done a great job this year, and if we are letting teams back in, it's only a field goal or a touchdown, not 3 or 4, which is huge, especially against the Grizzlies. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had really any. We haven't had a ton of this team scores 3 scores in the second half and we win, 54-21. We've been able to shut teams out on defense, and I think our defense is going to be a strong suit this week. I mean, especially with our secondary this week. I mean, they've been doing a great job, and I think also with our linebackers, with how Caden's been playing, and our D-line, I think it'll be very important that we stop the run and Gilman likes to get upfield quickly. I think if we're able to force him to not be able to get upfield quickly, kind of have to try and spill out, I think we can make sure we can get him to stop and get those wins.
Yep, for sure. All right, big week, 12 p.m. kickoff up in Missoula. We're pumped. I think everyone's pumped.
Improvised lights we can get in here.
Yeah. All right, conference championship week.
Yes.
Aiden, you want to get into this?
So, I saw a post about this. Keaton actually reposted this, which is what brought it to my attention. But an interesting fact about this week is there's 4 games being played this week that are both for either share or all of the conference championship for their conference, which also includes the auto bid for the playoffs. So these games are to play into the playoffs. And those 4 games are for the Ivy League. We have number 10 Harvard against number 25 Yale. That'll obviously be a big game. Harvard had their first loss last week against, I don't know who it was against, but
Definitely knocked them down the rankings quite a bit.
It did knock them down a little bit. But obviously either one of those teams can get into the playoffs with that auto bid. And obviously this is the first year that the Ivies are actually playing in the playoffs. This is their first year opting in. So if Harvard wins, Yale, I don't think they'll make the playoffs because they'll be a 2-loss team, and they won't make the playoffs. They're too low in the rankings right now. I think if Yale wins, Harvard has a chance to make an at-large bid, either as a low-ranking team or as an unranked team. So I think there's still a possibility for Harvard to make it if they lose this game, but I think this is a must-win game for Yale if they want to see themselves in that playoff spot for the first time in the Ivy Leagues. Next one was
Ohio Valley.
The Ohio Valley, Big South. Number 8, Tennessee Tech versus UT Martin. UT Martin's coming in unranked. UT Martin, they need this win to get an auto bid so that they can make the playoffs. Tennessee Tech, I think they'll make it either way.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll probably end up ranked either way. Would be their only loss of the year if they did lose this game. So I think Tennessee Tech, they could win or lose this game and it'd be fine. Obviously, it's a lot better if they win this game, get that auto bid. UT Martin, they need to win this game if they want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, this could be a big game, especially if unranked UT Martin takes this game. Like you said, Tennessee Tech's in at 8. But, it'd be cool to see an unranked team take down 8 in the final week of the regular season. So we'll stay tuned and have to see.
Yep. All right. And then the Patriot League, number 4 Lehigh versus number 24 Lafayette. Lafayette, I feel like they also need this win to make the playoffs. And again, I feel like this is the same story with all these teams. Lehigh, I feel like they're almost guaranteed a top 8 seed, so I think they're almost guaranteed a bye at this point. I think they'll be on the edge of that if they lose this game, but I think Lafayette, they need to win this game if they want to make the playoffs. Must-win games for both Lafayette, UT Martin, and Yale, and those should be good games. I'd tune into those if you are looking for something to watch on Saturday. And then, of course, I said 4, also the Brawl, playing for a conference championship and for the number 2 seed. I think if the Cats win that game, the Grizz will. I think they'll drop to 3. I don't think they'll drop too far, having it be their only loss of the year. I think they should drop further, but I just don't think that's what the committee's going to do.
We'd love if they dropped further.
Yeah, I think if we lose this game, we'll probably drop to 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Drop below, and obviously that depends on how these other games turn out. I mean, if Lehigh loses, then we'd probably fall a little less because Lehigh would fall too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if everything stayed the same and the only game that was played was Cat Grizz, I feel like if we lost, we'd fall 5 or 6 or even 7. But I think we're pretty much guaranteed a spot in that. I think we're almost guaranteed a first round bye, so we wouldn't have to play over Thanksgiving week. For sure.
Yep.
You guys got any thoughts on that?
excited to see how rankings shake out. I've been kind of intrigued by this Harvard team in the second half of the season. They've just been showing up more on my social media and just on my timeline and stuff, and then they're getting their first loss this past week. But I'm kind of intrigued by them. It'll see what happens getting into the playoffs. So, yeah.
And we might have that selection show, obviously, this Sunday after the game. It's usually Sunday morning. I think it's around 10 or 11. I'll have to look. I can't look at my computer because it's usually currently being used as a light. But obviously, tune into that, see how it shakes out. See
We
how
have
far
our AD, Leon Costello, on the committee.
Yep, for the first. I think this is the first year with him on there, which should be big for us. And then, so tune into that, and then we might do something for that.
Yeah, we can.
We'll talk about it off the air and maybe post something
For sure.
on the Tweeter and the InstaFace. So moving on to moving on to other Bobcat news. You want to talk about those?
Do you want yeah, you'll take it. Okay. So, yeah, like we mentioned earlier, like when we were talking about Cat Grizz, Can the Grizz food drive. So donate around town, usually at the banks, and it's all going to, or the local food bank. I'll notice also a lot of local businesses, grocery stores. They're doing
Pretty
that
much
stuff.
anywhere in Bozeman you
Really.
can find a
Yeah,
bin
for
to go
sure.
and donate for the Can the Grizz.
And also along with and again, it'll be done by the the episode's out Thursday, but tomorrow, Wednesday, the 19th, K-Sky Country and the Eagle are doing the Stuff the Bus. So if you guys have been listening to the radio all week, they've been talking about it. They're getting a first student bus down to the radio station there. And
Oh, Aiden.
all right, so yeah, they're getting a first student bus down to the radio station there, and they're just doing pack the bus essentially. So bring the food down. They're doing 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So stay tuned for that. But
And
really,
all that will go towards the Can the Grizz, so the more food we can pack in the bus,
exactly. And I'm hoping we can the Grizz again this year, like we have done in many years past. So yeah. And along with other Bobcat news, it was signing day this past week. Picked up a few new recruits for both the volleyball team and the basketball team. Basketball picked up 2 new recruits. Madison O'Connor for Baker, Montana. Cool to see a small town addition to the program.
Yep.
So she'll be here next year, along with Emma Dungelmans from Ontario. So that's we had the twins come in from Ontario this year, and Natalie last year when she came. So recruiting very heavily out of Ontario, which is super fun to see.
Which one's Ontario again?
Canada.
It's up in Canada.
Okay. Do we know where in Canada?
No, it's north. No, it's north of here. I know that.
Okay.
Not America.
Not America. All right.
And along with that, picked up 3 volleyball recruits as well. Taylor McDonald
Ontario's its own province.
from.
Is
What?
it?
Hey, we're recruiting heavily out of Ontario.
Are you
There you
sure
go.
it's not Ontario, Oregon?
No, it's Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah. Basketball, 2 recruits for the women. No signings for the men so far. We'll see once we get into the season more if they do pick up any. Volleyball, picking up 3 signings as well. Taylor McDonald from Kansas. McKenna Kimball from... Uh-oh. I can't read. There's a like in the way. I don't know where she's from.
Where is it? Oh.
California.
Yeah.
McKenna Kimball from California. And third, last but not least... Dude, I'm botching
took off
this.
the helmet.
Sorry.
When did you take off the helmet?
Before we started recording.
You'll see it in the blooper reel. I was having him wear the college game day helmet because college game day doesn't like the Grizzlies, and we don't like the Grizzlies.
You got the last
Sorry.
one there?
Okay,
Yeah.
continue.
Eliesco from Huntington Beach, California. So
There you
2
go.
volleyball recruits out here from California, 1 from Kansas, 2 women's basketball. Like I said, we'll see once we get going if the men pick up any throughout the season. So certainly will be very interesting to see. So happy to pick up some more recruits to add to the very young teams we have so far. So glad to see.
All right, moving on to high school athletics.
Yep. Raptor football dropped their semifinal game to Glacier.
Yeah.
Aiden, if you want to talk about it, you can. If you don't, you don't have to.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we were winning that game either way, but and I think a lot of us knew that going into that game. But I think we all obviously hope to get that win over them for We've played them for 3 years in a row, lost them for 3 years in a row. It's our 4th year losing in the semifinals, which is kind of sad. But, yeah, I think one of the issues we had was our starting center went out that we can practice, so we had our backup center had to come in. Obviously, he's a great dude. He played quite well. Some of the snaps weren't amazing. That wasn't necessarily his fault. I mean, tough situation. It's your first start in a semifinal game, but I think he had a very great game considering the circumstances. But still, obviously we couldn't come out on top. But it is what it is. You want to touch on the rest of them?
Yep. So this past week, the All-State and All-Conference honors were named for soccer. So on the Bozeman side, I couldn't find any for the boys. But on the girls' side, for All-Conference, we got Ella Bailey, Reese Schloll, and how do you say her name?
Kellis Brecker.
There we go. And then on the All-State, a good friend of ours, Haley Tobin, and Bryn Wilson. And then on the Gallatin side, we had a pretty widespread of honors. So for the girls' All-Conference, we had Marin Cooper, Izzy Donaghy, Leah Dyke, and Jocelyn Jones. Shout out Leah, good friend of ours. And girls All-State, we got Syra Mahmood and Kira Tsukamoto. I can't remember the official count, but Syra was the team leader in goals on the season.
Doesn't
That
surprise
one game
me
was
at all.
what,
She had 5 goals
5 goals in one game.
in the semifinal game against Bozeman. And then on the boys' side for All-Conference, Walter Rivera, Noah McGee, Elijah Bonson, Max Graham, Reese Nolan, and Alex Janakis. And yep. And then on the All-State side, Logan McBride and Eddie Belenko. And then the Eastern AA Player of the Year went to Zeke Layton.
He gives a round of applause for that. That's a big deal.
Yep. I mean, he had that hat trick in the state championship game. I mean, real big for him. Yeah, great way to wrap up your senior season.
Let me pull it up.
Couldn't
real
ask for a
quick.
better way than that.
Also the team leader in goals. Get an official count here.
Do we want to talk volleyball while we wait for this?
No, I can go over that real quick. Zeke finished the year with 18 goals and 6 assists. So,
Do we know how many Syra had?
Syra had, and Syra's only a junior as well,
Yes.
so
Yeah,
we
which
get her
is
back next
nuts.
year. Let's see. They make these really easy to read. 19 goals, 11 assists.
Nice.
Good.
Huge year for Raptor soccer. Even the girls losing in the
State championship.
losing in the state championship. Still awesome season for them. A lot of very successful players. So
Back-to-back runner-ups.
yeah, so great job all around.
And then the big news of the week, Gallatin Raptor Volleyball takes their second state title in school history
In a row.
So shout out girls.
And MSU commit Brooklyn Binford is on that team.
Yes,
she
She's a
is.
junior, so she'll be going. She graduates next year, so she'll go.
She's got one more
They're
year.
looking for the three-peat.
Huge shout out Coach Gus. She's done a phenomenal job in the year she's been coaching.
Only one loss this year, correct?
Yes, only one loss
To Bozeman. Yep.
which they're a tough team.
And then come back to beat them in state.
Yeah, just if we want to dive a little bit deeper into state tournament.
Yeah, for sure.
Very exciting. Very dominant on the Gallatin side. Took on CMR first round. Won 2 games. Played Bozeman. Beat them in 3 sets in the semifinals. And the way that the state volleyball tournaments works is that both sides of the bracket meet at the semifinals because there's a loser's bracket to work their way. So there's a 4th place, 3rd place, and you can work your way back up. So Bozeman fought their way, dropped in 4 to CMR. So we played our first round team in the championship, swept 3 sets. Never a dull moment.
No.
Exciting volleyball. There wasn't really any huge blowouts besides maybe a few sets, but Kennedy Varda, MSU commit Brooklyn Binford, Michaela Coleman, Kate Nansel, and Josie Lathrop. They were kind of the standouts in my head of the whole tournament. Obviously, Kennedy's a D1 commit to University of Kentucky.
Yeah.
She played phenomenal.
She did.
We'll get those numbers a little later officially on how many kills she had. First day, I think she was pushing 12. Which is absolutely insane. Brooklyn Binford is the libero. She did very well. I was impressed with her. Michaela Coleman, also front row attacker. Same with Kate and Josie. Those are all kind of the interchangeables. So they played really well. If you want to weigh in on that at all.
Yeah, for sure. I caught a couple of the matches throughout the weekend. It was a lot of fun to be at. I noticed, I believe it was the Thursday, the night game the Raptors played.
Semifinal.
Yeah, a bunch of the women's basketball team was there, which is really cool. Cheering on Brooklyn, I would presume, which is really cool just to see the athletes taking time out of their schedule to come watch the high school games, which is awesome. So, yeah, fun to see them there, but fun weekend of volleyball all around. Billings Central repeated as the A-class champions, I believe, and then Circle and Baker, I think, were the B and C champions.
I just want to give a shout-out to the the B-class schools.
Mm-hmm.
They had a whole student section on each side, and the parents were just loud and energetic. Like, they brought the energy, especially when they're traveling several hours to come to the Brick.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, fun weekend all around. Had a great time. So, yeah, great job to the Raptors on back-to-back state championship.
Taking third
yeah,
too.
Bozeman as well. So, great job all around for the Bozeman school. So, yeah. All right. Now,
moving on.
Let's get into some game day picks.
Yes. We haven't talked about our pick standings in a long time. I had to go back and tally them up, just because we're at the end of the season. This is the last week of the regular season for picks. We'll transition into a different game next week, which I'll talk about next week.
Ooh.
And I'll talk with you guys about after this. But I'll talk about our current standings. Brady is currently 2 games ahead of me and Keegan.
Miraculously.
He's at 39 and 28.
I don't even know how I'm doing it.
And me and Keegan are at 37 and 30. I will tell you how you did it. It's because there was that one week where I forgot. I think it was week 10 where we had all the upsets. So it was the week that Portland State won. Mm-hmm. It was the week that
yes, because I picked Portland State.
It was the week that Idaho State won. Yeah. It was the week that Idaho upset NAU. I think there was one more, and he picked all of them. He picked all 4 to win, and we both picked all 4 to lose.
I believe it was on the episode that we had Spencer on, and I was like, I just want to see Portland State get at least one win, so I picked them, and they won.
And then the funny thing was, I picked Portland State every week for the rest of the year and have not won.
The same year.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yes, let's get into this week's picks.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games on the schedule this week. First one, Portland State, Northern Colorado. What are we thinking?
Brady, what do we got?
Not a lot of thought. NCU's got this one.
UNC.
It says NCU on there.
It's UNC.
Who put NCU?
Me.
Thank you, Mongo.
Yep. Can you put in the thing so I don't have to go back and look at it because I can't reach my computer right now. So you pick in Northern Colorado. Portland State, they lost to the Grizz last week. I've been picking them like every week, hoping they get their second win. I don't think it's going to happen.
No.
Sadly. I think Northern Colorado's going to – they've had a little bit of a drought. I think they're going to get another win this week.
Yep.
Give me the Bears.
Yep, I'm right with you.
Bears.
Northern Colorado.
Great. Moving on, next game here, NAU at Weber. Brady, since you're doing that, I'll go ahead and talk first. NAU, they've been a good team all year. I think they're fighting for a playoff spot right now. They need to win this game if they want to have a chance at making another spot in the playoffs. So, yeah, give me NAU. I think they're going to come out on top of this game, and I think they're going to win convincingly.
I'm going at Weber with the upset.
At Weber with the upset. All right. Keegan?
Yeah, I'm taking Northern Arizona here. I think they're just a better team this year. Better team in the matchup, so NAU.
Prove y'all wrong.
All right. You're ready for it.
Yep. All right. Another rivalry game this week. They're playing for, I think it's a giant potato. And I think there was a post this week. It's actually lost some weight from where it was before because the wood is dried in it.
Okay.
But
interesting.
Yes. So Idaho State at Idaho. Brady, what are your thoughts here?
Somebody else talk. I'm going to look up stats real quick.
All right. I think both teams, they've both been good teams that have given a lot of good teams a fight. I mean, Idaho gave Montana a pretty good run for their money. Idaho State also gave Montana a pretty good run for their money. Probably should have won that game.
It's in the Kibby Dome.
It's in the Kibby Dome, which is a tough place to play. Idaho coming off that tough loss in Sac State that they probably should have won. Idaho State coming off a win. I think they've both been good teams this year. Neither one of them is going to make it to the playoffs, so this is kind of the end of their season right here. This is their championship game. So
this is their Super Bowl.
I'm thinking Idaho State is going to pull out on top in this one.
All right, like it. I'm going to go with Idaho here. I think they're the lower team in this matchup, but yeah, final game of the season for him. I'd like to see him take it. It's just a possibility. So yeah, we'll see. Idaho State, Idaho. Brady, what are you thinking?
There we go. ISU was were they? Yeah, they were a playoff team last year.
No, they weren't.
You sure?
Yeah, our only playoff teams last year was us, Davis.
No, we played Idaho, the Vandals.
Idaho was, yes, not ISU.
Yeah, so I'll take Idaho.
We'll pick on that. Great. All right. Sac at Davis. Sac needs this win if they want to make it to the playoffs. Keegan, what are your thoughts?
7-4 Sac State versus 7-3 Davis. I think this has a potential to be a really good game. This will be one we'll kind of star and have to watch. I really could go both ways on this, but I just think Davis, coming off our loss, they're gonna have some fire under them. I would think they're gonna come back with a win here, so I'll take Davis on this one.
Yep. I am going to take Davis here, too. I'm right there with you. I think Davis, they're a good team. They've lost the games that they've lost. They've been close games with the exception of that Washington game. They've been close games. Davis has been a good team all year. Sac State, I feel like they've snuck away with some wins where they probably shouldn't have. And I think that's going to come back and bite them here, and I think that they're not going to be able to hold their own in this game, and I think Davis is going to win it pretty convincingly, especially playing at Davis. Brady?
Yeah, I think Davis has the power, especially with that quarterback of theirs. I definitely think they have the power.
Cool. Next game here, Eastern at Cal Poly. Brady, what are your thoughts?
I think Eastern did kind of rally a little bit. I mean, they did get a few scores on us, so I'm going to go with Eastern.
Yeah, tough game. It's in San Luis Obispo. I think this will be a close game. Obviously not a game that really matters for a bunch, but also it's just another one of those games where I'm kind of liking how most of these games are pretty tight for the last game of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to get one out on top. I think Eastern's going to come away with this one. They've been a pretty good team. They almost beat Montana. They beat Idaho, I think. So I mean, they're a good team. Cal Poly also a good team. They beat Sac State. But I think Eastern's going to come out on top in a close one.
For sure. Yeah, right there with you. Taking Eastern here. I think they're just a better team this year. Better team in the matchup. So pretty simple, taking Eastern.
Yep. All right, moving on to the game of the week. Montana State at the University of Montana.
Sorry, University of Montana.
Cats are favored by 2.5 by Sportsbet Montana. The over-under is 56.5. Brady, what are you taking here?
Well, it's Cats by a million. So I'm taking the over. But also, realistically, I think it is going to be the over. I think it's going to be close, but not as close as we think, and I think we're going to outscore them by a lot.
Yeah. I think it's gonna. I'm gonna take the under on this one. I think the Cats, they're gonna have a really good game. I think we're gonna stop them very good on defense. I think we only give up 1 or 2 scores. And I also think they have a good defense. I think they're gonna hold us to 4 or 5 scores. So I think it's probably gonna end up around. I'll say my score prediction in a minute, but I think I'm taking the under. I think it's gonna be a very defense-heavy game.
I think this weekend is gonna be a shootout. I think it's going to. I think both teams are going to come out, both offenses are going to come out firing on all cylinders, and I feel like it has a potential to be very back and forth and just end up in a shootout. So, yeah, taking the over here, I think it has a potential to be a very high-scoring game. So, yeah, excited to see what the Grizzlies bring and excited to see what we bring to the table ahead of a very fun game. So, yeah.
Do we have score predictions?
Ooh.
We don't need to write these down.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go 58 to 8.
No.
58 to 8.
My light. There it goes. 58 to 8.
Yep. I think they're going to get a touchdown and a 2-point, but that's all we're going to allow them.
Okay. I am going to give us. I'm going to go. 31-10. That's going to be my score. I think they get a touchdown and a field goal, and I think we get 4 touchdowns and a field goal. I think
Good
it's going to be a real tough game. I think playing in Washington Grizzly, I think if it was in Bobcat Stadium, I think this would be a lot more of we'd be a lot less worried going into this game if it was in Bobcat Stadium. I think this is going to be
For
a tough
sure.
game. I think we're going to have to play our best football, but if we can play how we've played these last couple weeks, I think we can come out on top.
Yep, you said it's a tough game. Cats need to bring their A game to the weekend. So, yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a very high scoring affair. So I'm gonna say somewhere around the neighborhood, 48-42. I think it's going to be ridiculous. So it could be or it could be not. So it could be super low scoring. So we'll have to see. But yeah.
All right, I think that just about wraps it up for this week for the Bobcat Weekly Podcast.
Yeah, another fun week of Bobcat athletics ahead. Like we said, we're going to basketball here, and
Try and get this broke down as quickly as possible so we can get all the way across town to get over there.
yeah, but yeah, should be a lot of fun. Yeah, men are away this week for basketball. Ladies home tonight, and then home again next week. Hockey will keep you updated on the scores, and yeah, volleyball season wrapping up this week, regular season. So,
Huh? Okay.
yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to this very special week of
Yeah,
the Bobcat Weekly Podcast.
where everything has gone perfectly. No
Pretty much,
issues at all.
Pretty much. Not even starting with the RV wouldn't start earlier
Yeah.
today. So here we are in the dark. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to do. I think this was a great idea. And yeah, things went well for the most part. So I'm glad it turned out the way it did. So yeah, as always, FTG and Go Cats.